Sydney, working with Christina. So we know that we're looking at a sea lion because you can tell by the flippers, especially the front flippers. Sea lions have very large, powerful front flippers, and they can support their full body weight on those front flippers. They can use them to crawl up on the rocky shores that they naturally stay on. You can see Sydney. There you go. Handstand. I think her last weight was around 9 kilos or so 200 pounds-ish. Their weights do fluctuate throughout the year, and we do vary their diet. The winter we give them a little bit more, so they can pack it.
Okay, summer water.
So you can also tell that they're sea lions by the way that they swim. If you can see Summer swimming through the water, she's using her front flippers. The main method of propulsion. So sea lions, it looks as though they're swimming through the water.
Good.
Flying through the water. Whereas seals tend to scull with their back flippers. And she can do a backflip like that just with a simple flick of her front flippers. That's how strong they are. Here's that backflip again. Very, very strong. Very, very fast swimmers through the water. Sorry. Too close to the middle. We also teach them some mental exercises as well. So physical and mental well-being is a very important aspect of their training. So right there, Summer did a retrieval. It's a physical exercise because we can throw something very far. It's also mental exercise because they have to learn how to catch. We also ask them to do blind retrieval. Sometimes we'll just ask them to go find something in the water. Most of the time they retrieve a leaf or an old toy that they sort of stop playing with and let sink to the bottom. And every so often they do come up with a piece of recycling, say a water bottle, or something that shouldn't be in the pool. So that's why we have all the recycling and trash containers throughout the zoo. So it's a good way for everyone to help us take very good care of our animals here. And sometimes they lose interest and they don't find anything. If they do something that we don't want them to do, or if they're doing a behavior incorrectly, we simply ignore that behavior. We don't punish our animals. We try to use only positive reinforcement. And reinforcement in this case is fish. We feed them 5 different kinds of fish: squid, mackerel, herring, butterfish, and cakeworm. And we weigh out each diet for each individual animal. We do monitor their weights every week. We ask them to get onto the scale. So there's a weigh-in every week. There we go. So that was a toy that we tossed in there. It's a sinking toy, so that they can play with stuff underneath the water. It's a big reward for that one because she really did search around for quite some time to find that one. We also do some healthcare husbandry behaviors. That's basically their top priority is the husbandry behavior. We have our animals actively participate in their healthcare. We do a full body check, flippers, teeth. We look down their throats, back flippers, bellies, their backs, and having the animals actively participate in their healthcare is much less stressful for the animals. We don't have to restrain them. We don't have to catch them to do a simple exam such as body exams or teeth exams. Eye drops. Sometimes the eye drops we give are medicated. Sometimes they're simple saline solutions for practice. We do brush their teeth. Every day we try to brush their teeth. Depending on the individual animal, some are in different spaces within their training regime. So some of them will sit still for an injection. If we do injections, it would be in their back hips, right in the fleshy part and their hips back there. If we did, right there where Summer's showing you, if we did blood draws, we would go to the back flippers in between the digits in the back flippers. So it's very important that they sit very, very still for that, because it is sometimes hard because we don't see the veins. Sometimes they have to redirect needles. So our animals are comfortable enough with us, and because we practice so much with them, they do sit nice and still. The needles are in there. We ask them to blow on command. As you can see here, Summer's blowing into a cone, and that is just practice for if she would ever need anesthesia. These animals can hold their breath for 15, 20 minutes if they're inactive. So imagine trying to give an animal anesthesia and she doesn't breathe. So asking her to breathe on command allows us to give the proper amount of medication in a very, very quick time. Sea lions are extremely flexible. They can groom with their back flippers. They have very small nails on the tops of their back flippers, so they actually are doing some scratching. They have that very iconic bark. You know, you're listening to a sea lion when you hear the art, art, art noise. Seals tend to do more singing sort of vocalization. There you go, Sydney. Sydney's got to go in.
Okay, Summer, go out.
And you can see Rebecca has a target pole in her hand, but basically that ball on the end of a stick. Target pole is the first behavior that they learn. Sea lions and most animals in general are very curious, and they investigate things by smell or by touch with their nose. So she'll learn that when she touches her nose to the end of the target pole, she gets a reward. We would start with this on land, right in front of them first, and then once they learn that relationship, touch the target, get a fish, then we can start expanding that and teaching them different things. So we can teach them to spin, we can teach them to move into different shift areas, we can teach them to jump up out of the water, just like you saw her do. So we're done.